You know what we haven't talked about in a little while? Apple products. They're some of my favorite out there, and I think it's time we check them out and see what's new. What do you say? It's time for Unboxed Daily. Welcome to Unboxed Daily. I'm your host, Jason, and today we're taking a look at all the latest and greatest in everything Apple. If you want to see other shows we produced, hit that subscribe button and make sure you don't miss a single one. Now, in case you haven't heard, well, okay, everybody's probably heard, but just in case that you haven't, the new iMac desktops came out recently, and they are awesome. And these are truly phenomenal workhorse computers. They come in either the 10, 14, or 18 core set, and I gotta tell you, they're expensive, but they're definitely worth it. Here to show us how she uses her 18-core workhorse, it's iJustine, who shows off her editing suite and how the difference between the current setup and her previous really shows itself in her processing time.
Export time on the iMac Pro for this HomePod project was 19 minutes, 2 seconds, and on the MacBook Pro Touch Bar was 57 minutes and 6 seconds. So, color me impressed. Hold on, let me color myself a color. Hey Siri, turn off all my lights.
Done. Some lights didn't respond. Check the Home app for more details.
A lot of lights. I think there's over 67.
So with the 18-core setup, she uses a third of the video processing time, and she can do multiple projects simultaneously. Now that's a set of hardware I want to have at home. You know, just having the computer by itself is pretty impressive, but if you really want to take things up to the next level, you got to make sure that you get all the necessary accessories for that iMac setup. Here to tell us more about their favorite accessories are the guys at 9to5Mac, who have some pretty good suggestions on things you should purchase if you're looking to, you know, take it up a notch.
Special, what separates it from just your run-of-the-mill hub is the fact that it can clamp onto the front of your iMac. So this gives you front-facing I/O. So you get a front-facing SD card reader, you get a front-facing, or you get 3 front-facing USB ports, etc. And it comes in a nice space gray color.
I admit, if you're gonna spend money on a computer like that, you're probably not thinking about what extra stuff you can go buy to help make that experience a little better. But you know, if you're gonna be in for a penny, you should be in for a pound. And building out your iMac experience to be exactly what you want is, I think, a worthy investment. Now, if you're like iJustine and you love doing video editing, but you need something that's a little bit more travel friendly, you can't go wrong with a MacBook Pro. They are phenomenal laptops that out of the box not only do tremendous great work in terms of processing and speed, but they last for a long time, particularly if you get AppleCare to help with any, you know, bumps and scrapes they might collect along the way. Here to tell us why he loves his MacBook Pro for editing of all sorts is Roberto Blake, who pretty much edits solely on his MacBook Pro.
You're gonna see how I handle my equipment and what gear I'm using in order to do videos whenever I'm on the road. As critical as I am of Apple, the bottom line is that I found that the MacBook Pro was the best overall compromise for everything I needed for my business. But if I was strictly a video editor, I probably would have considered going in another direction, but that's not to say the MacBook Pro doesn't have some advantages, specifically the long battery life. I'm able to pretty much get a full day's work out of this laptop, even without having it plugged in.
Make sure to check out the rest of that video as Roberto discusses all the other accessories and tools he uses for great mobile editing, including the Blue Yeti microphone, which is a personal favorite. USB plug-in, works with pretty much every audio driver out there, and it sounds silky smooth. Forget editing for a second. You're a gamer. I can see it in your eye. And you want to know how you can use a MacBook Pro for gaming. Well, look no further. Despite the fact that sometimes you have to dual boot your computer to really get the full gaming experience, the hardware on a MacBook Pro is still definitely a great value. And here to show us how you can game at 200 FPS, yes, you heard me correctly, 200 frames per second, is Thunder E from Bored at Work.
I use the GeForce Now beta. This is NVIDIA's new streaming service called GeForce Now, currently in beta, that allows you to stream your gameplay to your MacBook. You don't have to stream it from a PC at home. This is streaming from their own servers, and it doesn't use any of your PC hardware or MacBook hardware to do the gaming, which is absolutely nuts. So you can do 200 frames per second gaming, like game like Doom, and you can see it run butterfast.
Now granted, he's using a streaming setup to get that 200 FPS on Doom, but you know, it still speaks to the strength of the MacBook hardware that you can do a lot of great gaming, whether streaming from an offsite or dual booting so you get both the Mac and Windows experience. Either way, it's a great value for a piece of hardware you don't have to upgrade. Now the same with the iMac. Sometimes you need a couple of accessories to help take that 10 into an 11. And here to give us his thoughts on some of the best accessories for the MacBook Pro is YouTuber Mark Wood, who has some really good suggestions, not only for performance, but for those who are price conscious.
It's the Griffin BreakSafe magnetic USB-C cable. One of the things I loved about my old MacBook Air was the MagSafe charger. If your charger was pulled, tugged, or tripped over, instead of taking your precious MacBook with it, it would simply detach and the device wouldn't move an inch. So, when I finally made the jump from MacBook Air to MacBook Pro, I couldn't believe that MagSafe was gone. The Griffin BreakSafe magnetic USB-C cable is the perfect substitute in the absence of MagSafe.
I cannot begin to tell you the number of times I have tripped over the power cord on the new USB-C cables. I would really love it if we'd go back to a magnetic lock, but since that's probably not going to happen anytime soon, I'm going to take Mark's suggestion and go get one of those accessories right now. And that's it for our look at Apple products of early 2018. If you like what you saw and you want to check out more, head on over to Unboxed.tv or look us up on the iOS store. In the meantime, I'll see you back here soon for more great product reviews and unboxing videos. I'm your host, Jason. Have a great day.